Hey y'all. Today's lesson is write equations of functions, notes. So we've been graphing lines and the equation to a line, and all of that is a function. And so today's lesson is I'm going to show you 3 ways to do it. And ultimately, you will get to pick which way works for you. But I'm just going to show you 3 different methods, and they all kind of have their own time when they're the most helpful. Whoops, that's my last. Sorry. So let me get started. I wish my sketch pad would write straight on a Google Doc, but it will not. So I have to take a picture of it, and now I have that line right there because that's where it was. But anyway, so writing equations of functions, just a couple of things at the top. To write a linear function, you need to first find the slope. If you haven't been given the slope, then you find the slope, change in y over change in x, which is y minus y over x minus x. Or if it's information like a word problem, you look for that per week, per day, per hour, per person. That's generally going to be your slope. Then there are 3 ways to find the y-intercept. There are 3 ways. The first way is to look at the table. And if you look at the table, you're going to count backwards. Okay, so if you want to look at the table, that's the first way. You're going to count backwards. The second way is to put it in slope-intercept form. And the third way is point-slope. We've practiced point-slope already. Slope-intercept is just putting it in and solving, and then counting backwards on the table. So I'm going to just pull my hair back real quick because I have a piece of hair that's bothering me. And then I'm going to show you. So the first example I'm going to show you is with a table. All right, so I'm first going to show you how to count with a table. The table shows how much a skating rink charges for a birthday party. What does the rink charge for a party fee? So we have 2 questions. What does the rink charge for a party fee? And write the linear equation. So the party fee is the b, the y equals mx plus b, the y-intercept. It's the initial fee before you start adding guests to your party. Just to secure the place, you have to pay a party fee. That's very common. Then usually you have to pay per guest. So the way we're going to use the table. So the first thing we need to do is find the slope. And we're going to count the change in y over the change in x. So it looks like this is 3 over 1. So my slope is 3, which that means $3 per person, because remember you do the y unit, $3 per person. And we're going to use the table. We're going to count backwards. The y-intercept is where the x is 0. So if we count backwards, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, then we need to count backwards here, 59, 56, 53, and they're each decreasing by 3, so 50. So the y-intercept is 50. So that answers the question about the party fee. It costs $50 to just decide you want to have a party. 0 guests, you still have to pay $50. Then the second part is we want to write a linear equation. So y equals mx plus b, y equals 3x plus 50. So there is my linear equation. Uh-oh, my 50 sort of looks like a 60. So let me fix that. 3x plus, I wrote 60. 3x plus 50. So that's how we use the table to count backwards to 0. Now, you might not always have a table. That's why I want to give you to use to find the y-intercept. That's going to be right now the hardest. I'm going to say hardest. That's going to be the thing that we have to work on finding, because everything else will kind of come to us in the problem. So in example B, where is my mouse? There it is. I never know. I can never see it. Music Incorporated charges a yearly subscription fee plus a monthly fee. So we have 2 fees. We have a yearly fee. I can't draw a straight line. We have a yearly fee and a monthly fee. The total cost for different number of months, including the yearly fee, is shown in the graph. So this is our y and this is our x. Determine and interpret the rate of change and initial value. So we have really like four things going on. Determine and interpret. So we have our rate of change and our initial value. So determine and interpret. Now remember, interpret just means we use units. We put words with it. So our rate of change is the slope. So first let's do our rate of change. It's the change in y over the change in x. So I'm just going to take these 2 points right here. The change in y would be 30 minus 24. Remember, I took those y values. And then 6 minus 4. 30 minus 24 is 6. 6 minus 4 is 2. So that's 3. So the rate of change is 3. And then interpret it means $3. See, this is cost. $3 per month. See, $3 per month. Now, remember this yearly fee that they talked about? We only have to pay that one time for the year. We don't pay that every month. We only pay that one time. So that has to be the initial value. That's the Y-intercept. And it's looking like, according to this graph, it's going to be right here between 10 and 15. But I'm going to show you how to use slope intercept in this problem. I'm going to show you another method. We don't have a table. So, we were counting up on the table. Could you count on these ordered pairs? Yes, of course, but I'm going to show you another method. So y equals mx plus b. This is what we're looking for, the b. We need to solve for b. And here's what you do, is we plug in all the numbers we know. Pick a point. It doesn't matter, any point. I'm just going to pick this first point right here because the numbers are small. So the y is 15. See, I got it from the y. The m is 3. The x is 1 plus b. Again, the 15 is the y because this is x comma y. The m, the slope is 3, and then the x was 1. Now I solve for b, subtract 3 from both sides, and b is equal to 12. That is the initial value. That's the y-intercept. They all are the same thing. So I've determined it. The initial value is 12. Now I need to interpret it, which means I just need to put words with it. What does this mean? And in this case, it means it cost $12 for 0 months, or it's the yearly fee. It's the yearly fee. And I got that from the problem. It told me it was the yearly fee. So this example, I showed you how to use slope intercept. I hope you're taking really good notes and you're not just copying down the answer because that's not going to help you at all. So I showed you how to use slope intercept in this example. Now the last example, I'm going to show you how to use point slope, which we've actually already done before. So it's more like a review. I have already worked it out, but you'll also have a calculator for you to work this out. So the table shows the monthly cost of sending text messages. So monthly cost of sending text messages. Assume the relationship between the two quantities is linear. So it's telling us like, hey, it's a linear equation. It's a function. Determine and interpret. So again, we have two things. Determine and interpret the rate of change in initial value. Then write. So we have three things. Then write the equation. So the rate of change, the initial value, and then the equation. So I just try to get everything listed that I need so I don't forget anything. The rate of change, what is the change? So it looks like it's going up by 10 cents, and this side is 1. So 0.10 over 1 is just 0.1. So that's 0.1. Ooh. 0.1, that's determined. Now interpret it means this is, okay, so the y, so this is cost. So 10 cents per message. That is how, and I got it because I do the y over x, 10 cents per message. So I've determined and interpret. Now let's do the initial value. Again, if you wanted to, you could count all the way up. So I'm at 5, you could go 4, 3, 2, 1, but I want to show you another method. I want to show you point slope, which is y minus y equals mx minus x. I know these numbers are not really pretty. If you had easier numbers, it might be easier. So I'm going to just use the first point right here. So y minus 1050 equals m, which is 0.1, times x minus 5. I just substituted in the slope And then I put in 10, 50, and 5. And I got it from here and here. So y minus 10, 50, and then we distribute. 0.1x minus 0.5. I add 10, 50, plus 10, 50. So y equals 0.1x plus 10. And now, the reason I like point slope is because I already have my equation. And my initial value is 10. That's the b. And what that means is $10 per month. Because see, it said monthly cost. So if you send 0 text messages, and I know y'all don't pay for text messages, y'all have unlimited text messages, but it used to be such that you had to pay a monthly fee and then you had to pay for all your text messages. You used to have to pay for messages that you sent and received. I went over my bill lots of times, but you can use point slope, slope intercept, or you can just count back on the table. So I wanted to show you all 3 methods. I'm not telling you which one you have to use, but I want you to have a strategy. So ultimately, the goal is that you can write an equation. That's what this whole lesson was called, writing linear equations. So I want you to have a strategy and a method so you can write a linear equation. I'm trying to stop it, so I'm just smiling. Whoops, I totally hit it instead of stop sharing.